This week on Reliving the Extreme, well, we have the many voices of Paul Heyman on this week's show. And we are going to talk a little bit about a new ECW champion. That and much more on Reliving the Extreme this week. Nate Maxon here with you, along with ECW's Chad Austin.
Hey, I think we're reliving the extreme while the extreme is also reliving the extreme. Hey, everybody.
This is true. And Aaron is here as well.
Yeah, it's like it's one of them little, like one of them fucking Russian dolls. You know, it's just one big Russian doll and a little Russian doll. And it's just, yeah.
That's this week's
it's
show.
A paradox trapped inside a parad. It's like, I don't know.
A paradox or some sort. Yeah. Well, that being said, I just want to let the listeners know that with this whole migration of the WWE network over to Peacock, we are going to be doing our best to watch every show that we can possibly obtain somewhere to watch it. Just so everybody knows, we're doing our best to do that. I'm going to try to find a copy of November to Remember 93 because I think that's going to be the next thing we watch, because I did take a look at the next show and it is literally just replays. Like on this show, we at least got some angles, a couple of new matches. Next week's show is literally just hyping up November to Remember. There's nothing original on it that we haven't seen. So I think the next show we do will probably be the November to Remember 93 review.
Now we got to find that out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find it. November 2nd, 1993.
No, actually, I don't have it.
You don't have the November to Remember 93?
Not that I mean, unless I got it and I don't know that I have it, but I know that I've never asked anybody to send it to me. So I'll look.
I'm sure if we
300 ECW DVDs today.
I'm sure if we can't find it, they're going to recap it. So that's a positive. We'll definitely be able to see some of it anyway. But yeah, everybody
starting to get too much like fucking work.
What if it gets to the point where we got to start doing recap shows of the recap shows? Because they're just recapping so much that that's all we're doing.
There's going to be a space-time paradox.
Hey, remember week 4 when we made that great Canadian Wolfman joke?
We're going to be recapping our own podcast, yeah.
Remember, who are the ECW Tag Team Champions?
Remember Meatballs Mahoney and the Super Destroyers? Boy, those were the good old days. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, bring back Palomo.
This episode is from November the 2nd, 1993.
No, it's not. It's from Ultra Clash. It's from like 2 weeks prior. And whatever happened to last week.
And whatever they filmed in the back, yeah. We have Maddie in the house opening up the show to tell us about the upcoming November to Remember pay-per-view with the main event, Hawk, where they show footage with Hawk from that old background we talked about 6 months ago. And Sabu against Terry Funk and a mystery partner at November to Remember, coming up November 13th.
Maddie. I was like, I can't wait to get into beating up Maddie. But then I realized he's only been here a couple of weeks, and I'm already done with him. He hasn't even really started, and he's already annoying.
Why was he wearing a Burger King crown?
I don't know. Yeah, he's bad. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Go back to 1993. Was he bad then? I don't know.
He definitely is in a class unto himself, is Maddie in the house. We shoot to a footage of in the ring, Paulie and Todd talking in the ring about this tag team match coming up. Terry Funk comes out, and Sabu's on his gurney, and they let him free. And I actually didn't mind this. The frenetic of Sabu with Funk kind of just standing tall there looking down at this guy like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty decent the first time we saw it. And I just love the fact that that's the worst secured gurney in the history of gurneys. That chain, it's up by his shoulders. Like he couldn't slide out from that chain that's on there. That I just, every time I see it, I remember seeing it live going, it's why don't you use a shoestring? to tie him in. That chain ain't holding nobody on nothing.
It's
Yeah, that was
definitely
pretty cool. Funk knew how to play that well, and Sabu was smart enough, unless Funk told him to, like, don't try to get too close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Terry starts slapping Sabu in the back of the head, and he's being the heel kind of here, as he's taking advantage of the fact that all the officials and everybody are holding Sabu down. But I agree with you about the gurney, Chad. I'm glad they moved on from that eventually, because it was silly. It was silly. Aaron, what do you think about this?
Well, I just thought everybody except Todd Gordon did a good job in this, and Todd Gordon is all over this show with his terrible acting abilities, just horrible.
His antics and his rhetoric. Good God! Now that you mentioned it, I do have Todd Gordon's name written down quite a few times on here, and I didn't catch it when I first ran through it. So, yeah, good point. Because now that you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of Todd in here.
Yeah, it's not very good.
What's worse, Todd or Tony Khan?
Well,
who? Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was just gonna say that, like, Todd Gordon makes David Crockett look like Jack Nicholson with his acting abilities.
Damn.
Just saying.
Well, you said it.
Well, now we get to our first, as we talked about, we're going to keep looking at things over and over again here. Joey Styles takes us. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, by the way, if you dial 215-544-0421 now, it's a fax machine. I don't know where it goes to, but it's a fax machine.
It's a real. Somebody still has a fax machine?
Yeah, I called it. It was just a fax machine.
That's still Todd Gordon's number. It's just a fax number now.
No shit. I remember calling it some days to figure out where I was working, because they would sometimes have like the spot shows,
mm-hmm.
And if I didn't catch, because I got the show a week late, or I never got the show live anyway. So if I wasn't at a show, and then I asked somebody where's the next show, or let somebody call me. I remember calling a couple of numbers to find out where I was working again.
When you called that number, who answered?
No, it was just a recording.
Oh, okay.
It was a recording of what's coming up.
Gotcha. Like I said, Joey is in the studio recapping the recap of the title match that we've seen 3 times now. We saw it the week before, and then last week, and now this week. We just keep taking a look at Shane Douglas and JT Smith for the ECW title and what happened there with Terry Funk. Although it looks like with the Terry Funk Sabu angle, they're already moving on from Terry Funk and JT Smith. I don't know. Like Chad said, at some point JT quit, right?
Yeah, but he still had the FBI run.
Yeah. He eventually returns to do that. So yeah, I guess we don't have to talk about that because we already talked about it twice. The ECW Wrestling Academy. We get a commercial for that. $3,000, $1,500 in advance, and then $500 a month. And they just say you will learn how to wrestle from wrestlers of ECW. Who could that be? Sal Balomo?
Oh, no. They couldn't even get Sal Balomo, no. That would probably be Donnie Allen. They would learn from Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal, probably. And a couple other guys who, I don't know. I guess a couple of guys that are gone. I could see a Stetson being there. Got a couple guys like that. I could see them doing that. And JT probably was a big part in that too.
Right.
Because I think JT was probably one of the main trainers. I'm assuming. Yeah, but $3,000, man, in 1993.
It's a chunk of change.
I mean, if people really paid for that, they could have kept that promotion afloat for a little while. Just than running a fucking jabroni school.
And it's probably better than going to that who was that fat guy out in California, Roland Alexander. It's probably better than going to his school. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know. Didn't John Cena come out of there?
I think so, but
yeah, okay.
He got a little OVW sprinkled in there too. That might have been
right. I got you. But yeah, you know what? They could have used that as their own developmental system. they could have trained. Todd could have said, "Listen, we're a little light on ring crew guys," and then the next week's training could be tearing down and putting up the ring. And then your first gig is that you get booked out of the school. Hey, look, we need to take this ring to this building and put it up. You know how to do it.
Max Thrasher showed you.
Yes. Yeah. They brought in Max Thrasher as a special teacher one weekend for a seminar. So any job they need somebody to fill, they can just train them at the school to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They have everybody, everything covered.
Well, I also heard that like the first Thursday they'd had it was top rope day, and JT was the instructor, and
oh yeah,
4 guys got crippled, so they kind of had to shut it down.
It weeded out the week. If you can't fall off the top rope like JT, then you don't belong there anyway.
We're gonna bring in a special class so Sandman can show you his drop kick.
Oh,
that will
drop
be
kick class. Oh my God! Could we fantasy book the ECW Wrestling Academy's schedule for training seminars?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Drop fling. It's drop fling day with the Sandman. It's not a drop kick.
Drop kick seminar with the Sandman. Top rope Thursday with JT Smith.
It's character acting with Sir Christopher Michaels.
Yeah, I was just to say promo day with Chris Michaels.
Today we do Elma Fudd.
Man, we could have a ball with that. That'd be a hell of a cartoon.
After that, we show a promo with the Sandman and Peaches talking about Sandman's about to have a match with Shane Douglas, a rematch from Ultra Clash. And then they show us highlights from Ultra Clash. So, but when we come back from that, Sandman has been laid out. And
well, let's not forget about his highlight video.
I didn't even write that down. Sorry.
This is who they decided to put in the Sandman's highlight video. We're going to highlight how awesome the Sandman is by showing you clips of his matches with Don Morocco, Vladimir Kozlov, the Metal Maniac, and Chris Michaels. That'll show him.
Now Rushmore.
In every one of those, Sandman looks great.
He's drop kicking his ass off. He's like Jim Brunzell out there. Because he's top rope drop kicking. He's mule kicking. He has a Bolomo day. Yeah. I mean, I almost got so pissed for a second because this is literally when I was syncing up the link you sent me to my DVD. Mm-hmm. And I went, they are not going to try to present one of them old matches with the old Wolfman ring and say this is Shane Douglas versus the Sandman match. And I had to give it a call. I'm going, there's no way. I'm not going to allow this to let them perpetrate this fraud. Because how many months ago was that? So I had to wait a couple minutes, and then literally they said that was from Ultra Clash or whatever. So I was like, all right, thank God, because I was starting to lose my shit already. One thing that's coming out of this show is I'm not going to forget how to spell the word recap. Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, a lot of commercials. Now we moved, like I said, we move into Sandman is laid out in the back. Polly actually calls him a drunken blob here.
Oh, yeah. And, do you think Polly already knew?
Sandman, Sabu. Okay, here we go. This gets a little convoluted, so I'm going to try to do my best here, folks. Polly says that technically Shane Douglas is still a member of the Dangerous Alliance, so Polly can control his contracts and who he defends the title against. So Polly has replaced the Sandman with Sabu in this match. Did I get all that? did I get follow the White Rabbit down the hole there? Good enough, guys?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I'm confused as hell. I don't know what's going on here. Then Sabu, and then I don't know how they booked this match as far as when they had the match to how they had, the pre-tape thing, because. And then Joey Styles even brought it up because I'm just like, wait a minute. How come Shane's not pissed? How come he's in the ring? And Joey Styles even goes, it don't seem like Shane Douglas is that all upset about it. And I'm like, is that because they booked it? The match happened way before they post-produced it and added this angle to it, kind of thing. It's like, I'm lost here. Why isn't Shane pissed, that he's not wrestling the drunken stumble bum back there, the Blob. Why
Right.
isn't he fighting him? And here all of a sudden he's putting Sabu, who was apparently he's a threat to everybody in the company. Did you guys not see that?
Oh, and yeah, totally picked up on.
Did you notice what Shane's music was on your version?
No,
You didn't know?
I guess I wasn't. Yeah, I guess I wasn't listening well enough.
What was Shane's music on your version?
What was it on what we watched, Aaron?
Oh, it was the USWA theme song.
Oh no shit! I didn't even pick that up.
Because I knew they did generic. I knew that they had generic music and they had generic beds, but I wonder if that was an accident or that was actually done on purpose because it's a generic bed. They can get away with using it, but I'm like, here comes Sabu and Shane out with the USWA, everybody. It's Corey Macklin here. And I was just like, and the best part about this whole entire last few minutes is I wrote that Joey is telling you a good story. He's telling you verbally a good story, but visually, it's a fucking train wreck. It's all over the place. You don't know what's going on. They're sending you to the ring. They're sending you to the back. This guy's out. I mean, all of a sudden, Mr. Hughes is in the back doing promos. I don't know. It just got confusing, and I just don't know if this is what they call hot shot booking, where Paul is literally just taking whatever footage he has left and just trying to, you know what I mean? Like figure something out with this, but it's just so convoluted and fucked up. And Sabu won, I believe.
Yes, Sabu did win. Aaron,
a very quick match. It was just a very quick match. I mean, it was like I don't know, 5 minutes. But yeah, Sabu ends up winning with a moonsault, and he's the new ECW champion.
From the beginning of, and this is, I guess I'll say this: what Sabu came in. What have we been watching him about 4 weeks now?
Not even.
Yeah. I mean, I guess overall, tapings.
He worked Taz and he worked Taz. There was only matches that he's had.
This is from what I've observed from the beginning of Sabu. The minute he walked through the door, this is the guy Paulie sinks his teeth into. This is Paulie sees what he's got, and he just straps a rocket to Sabu immediately. One thing I did like about this at the end of it, I liked Sabu and Paulie staying true to their characters, and that Paulie is super happy that Sabu is champion. He's flaunting the belt. He's showing it to Sabu, and Sabu's character couldn't give two shits that he's the champion.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you don't. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the way it should have been. Paulie wants the belt. In Paulie's mind, he's going to bed at night, the ECW champion.
Right.
Sabu don't give a shit. He's chained. He's halfway chained to a gurney. Fuck. What does he care about some leather strap with some gold on it? They could trade for trinkets in Bombay.
Anything else on this segment, guys? Aaron?
Nope, just that was in my notes too, that Sabu not giving a shit about being the champ was a good touch.
Up next, we have the Terror at Table commercial with Paul E. sounding like Destro from G.I. Joe. I mean, it's obviously Paulie Dangerously doing all of these. That's why I say we hear many voices of Paulie on this show, because he does all these voiceovers for the shows, and he's using different accents and different voices.
Why doesn't he just use his own goddamn voice? Everybody knows him. Nobody else talks like Paul Heyman.
You know what? Wait, he does. You wait about 2 years or 3 years, whatever. He totally just says, "Fuck it." Everybody knows it's me anyway. Why?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, here everybody knows it's him.
But yeah, the copy I had edited right from Terror at Tabor, like where the graphic first came on, and I was going to mention on previous shows. I know they've already started running shows. But the network versions edited all that shit out. Remember how they used to promo that shit? Where they'd play Sad But True in the background or something? And about the place they were going to be at. But if I remember, they didn't have any of them recently. Because I know we did a couple of spot shows since I had been there. And You know?
Well, yeah, and you can obviously tell with the network because I decided to watch the copy that I sent you. My network hasn't been shut off yet, but I decided to watch the copy that I sent you guys just so we were all watching the same thing. The WWE Network version of this episode is only like a half an hour long because they cut all this stuff out. I didn't watch it, but that's why. I mean, they cut all these local promos out. They cut a bunch of the music. We have a music video coming out. There's no way they use that, so
no
yeah,
Carver W. Reed commercials.
No, sir.
I used to love them, man. They were the best. Everybody was speculating, like, because that it didn't make sense. It doesn't sound anything like Todd Gordon. So everybody would talk about it. I don't even think the boys even knew. Well, I don't think the boys even gave a fuck because I know we really didn't give a shit. But we're like, oh, I wonder if that's Todd's fucking plays because we all knew that's how we were getting checks.
Where was I at here? Terra Tabor. Okay. Polly also hypes the hotline in the next commercial. Polly just spent an entire day cutting commercials, I think, for this show. I think later on you're going to hear Polly going, promotional consideration paid for by the following.
No, he still would have to use Lord Alfred Hayes. The one voice that you wouldn't think that it would be him, and it's just like, oh my god, because you would show the words promotional consideration before the voice would come up, and you're thinking like for a second, what's Paulie going to do? Like, no, just use the real Lord
and then
Alfred.
It's just actually Lord Alfred. Yeah.
Do we have any information on the Tabor show? I wasn't there.
No, I don't. I could look it up and see. I don't know if there's probably results somewhere.
Well, it has to be because they advertised something for the show on there, right? Matches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, there has to be somebody who wrote in results, especially in '93. To Meltzer.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Terror at Tabor. Gotta love that name. And now, hey, guess who's next on the screen? Paulie. Paulie, once again here. This is the Paulie and Gordon show this week. Paulie is in the back talking about the upcoming November to Remember show. And there he is, Aaron, with his acting chops on. Todd Gordon comes in.
It's no good. There were 13 matches at that fucking show. That Terror and Tabor, there were 13 matches.
Oh, did you look it up?
Yes.
Give it to us.
Kevin Sullivan won a battle royal.
Oh, yeah, right. You know what? I remember this now because I bet on Kevin Sullivan to win that battle royal. I think Donnie still owes me $10.
Chris Michaels beat Keith Shearer. Shearer. Johnny Hotbody beat Tony Stetson defeated JT Smith and the Sandman to retain their tag titles.
Just for the record, Keith Shearer has also got an identical twin brother named Kyle, who we're going to see on upcoming episodes. But the ironic thing is that Keith Shearer don't have a brother. Wait till you get to these episodes. Somehow in editing. They two Keith Shearer matches made it to the same show, and he was a job guy, and then so somebody came up with the idea. Well, this is his twin brother Kyle.
That's fantastic. I love it.
That's what they did.
Sabu, who was accompanied by 911 and Paulie Dangerously, defeated the Tasmaniac, who was randomly with Tony Rumble. The Public Enemy defeated Bad Breed.
Oh, so Axel and Ian were there. Okay.
Yeah. Then JT Smith, Peaches, and the Sandman, they came back and defeated Hunter Q, Johnny Hotbody, and Tony Stetson in an intergender 6-person tag team match.
Extravaganza, hootenanny,
yeah,
and all get down.
every adjective you can think of.
Yeah, for a good time.
These people had to sit through another Chris Michaels match because Tommy Cairo beat Chris Michaels.
Because they had that raffle gimmick there, where whoever wins the raffle gets to pick a dream match later on in the show. And that Christopher Michaels match was somebody fans their dream match to have that one. Who do you work?
Tommy Cairo.
Oh, see right there.
And Mr. Hughes
Where
with
is
Jason.
Tabor anyway? I got to figure this one out.
Mr. Hughes with Jason beat that guy with a twin. And Bad Company, they defeated Donnie Allen and Mr. Hughes. And then Paul Diamond defeated Rocco Rock.
He beat Kyle?
Yeah. And then, like I said, in Bad Breed, they ended up wrestling again and fought Donnie Allen and Mr. Hughes. Then Paul Diamond worked again and defeated Rocco Rock. Then the Bad
They defeated
Breed.
Donnie Allen and Mr. Hughes?
Yes. And then Bad Breed, they came back out and they defeated Johnny Hotbody and Tony Stetson.
Wait a minute. I think you're using up all my internet.
And then Kevin Sullivan, he returned again and defeated Keith Shearer. So maybe there's 3 of them. And then Tommy Dreamer defeated Johnny Grimes in your main event.
Man,
good God.
That was
hopefully we don't get that as a recap show.
Hold on a minute. Might have to take Chad out and bring him back in. I think we lost him. Can you hear me now, Chad?
I mean, yeah, I can still hear audio. I was connected, but it was just stuttering and breaking all up.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're clear now. Yeah,
There's still a delay. There's still a delay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a delay.
So when I talk, you hear me later.
You're like
then.
Yeah. And then when I talk, I'm waiting for a response, and you're just staring at me.
It's like
right there.
Yeah, it's like the news. Yeah.
I know it wasn't a home run of a joke, but it wasn't that bad.
Let me see if I can fix this.
Yeah, because
is that better?
Aaron reading them. I don't know. Can you hear me now, real time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was much less of a lapse. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I lost Aaron. Like, I don't know. It was a Bad Company beat Mr. Hughes and Donnie Allen.
Yeah.
That's when the audio started getting fucked up, and I was just like, he didn't say that.
Unfortunately,
and then everybody else, and then I don't know, but then everybody else wrestled like 3 more times. They did like 13 matches with a crew of like 10 dudes.
That's the old Memphis way of doing it, but they wouldn't have gave you 13 matches.
It really was a
they would only had like 10 talent. No, like 5 talents.
It really was a terror at Tabor, apparently.
Terrible
at Tabor. So next on the show, Todd Gordon comes into this Paulie promo, and he adds a stipulation to that tag team match coming up at November to Remember, where the singles titles will now be on the line in the match. If someone pins Terry Funk, they become the TV champion. If someone pins Sabu, they become the world champion. And Paulie freaks out over seeing who the mystery partner is, and then they make it go dead on us. I mean, we still
because there's no name written on the paper yet. They don't fucking know. There's no chance. There's no chance they're not going to take the opportunity of telling. They're going to tell you who it is in advance to sell tickets for the house. They're not going to hope that when you're showing up for the mystery partner. When does that ever fucking ended good?
Never.
So that it's a blank sheet of paper, and Paulie shit himself because Todd couldn't get nobody. So now Paul is scraping in the back, like, who's he gonna get? Who's he gonna get? Hervey? Where's Hervey?
Paul Diamond again. Yeah.
That was just so bad. It was good because you saw right through it. I mean, you clearly did, right?
Yeah. They're just gonna go with Sullivan if they have to at this point.
Exactly.
He'll be there.
Santana.
Let's bring back the old ECW. He never lost the belt. There's an angle there.
Yep.
Up next, we have one of the few actual matches or first run matches we have on this show. It's Bad Breed against our own Chad Austin and Todd Shaw. And Joey Styles gives you a nice compliment there. Chad, you are a scrappy youngster. Yep.
Yes,
scrappy youngster. There you go. He's a scrappy youngster. That Chad Austin.
And I'm ready for anything in the ECW.
And you actually get it.
I'm glad I let Joey Styles start doing all my talking for me.
You actually get a flurry.
I ain't
in this
ready
match,
for all
though.
this. What's that?
You get a flurry in this match, though. They give you the Rottens give you a little flurry here.
I was in the ring with him last week. I learned. I'm a scrappy youngster, so therefore every single outing that I have to extract some piece of knowledge from it and get better and better.
We're watching you evolve here in the ECW.
But more on my partner Todd Shaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say your partner not so much. He tags in and just gets fucking eliminated, man. He just gets like Joey even brings it up. He's like, Todd Shaw's coming in. He's gonna do something. Oh no, he's not. Never mind.
Oh, poor Johnny. Johnny was like, he was green here, clearly, but we were all still green in different aspects. But he had just came through our school. His name's Johnny Crystal. He's still a good friend of mine. Well, a friend of mine, he lives in Arizona. He came to the school, good-looking bodybuilder kid. Wasn't very tall, tall, but he had the 200 and some pound physique. And he ended up training in the same class with another guy named Mike Corey, who I took a liking to, and I kind of helped out immensely with his training. And they became a tag team in the indie scene called Maryland Inc. or Models Inc. And they would get called up to do jobs a lot for TV for Titan. And we always had a good crew of TV guys. Anytime the WWF called Baltimore for TV guys, Bob either knew the guys or Dwayne knew the guys or whatever. One night on Raw, I've forgotten all about this until I went back and watched the match with me in it. There's a match on Raw from like 93. I want to say he wrestles Bam Bam Bigelow, right? His name would probably be John Crystal on it. Bigelow goes to whip him from the corner to the other corner. And you know how the Titan rings are like 22 footers? Like back in the early days like that? Well, we're used to working in the 18-foot ring. And then you may have worked in like Paul's ring, and ECW was a 20-foot ring. But he's working in a 22-foot ring, and Bigelow, this big monster, goes to whip him into the corner, and poor John with his little legs, he couldn't keep up with the velocity of how he was running, and he tripped up. And you literally see him flying through like the bottom to the middle rope. Oh my God, like a lucha dive. It was one of the most goddamn things. I remember watching Raw go, what the fuck? And I think the commentators laughed. If you can find it. It's so great.
That's fun.
Him losing his balance and it just goes sailing. But this match with the Bad Breed was probably a little earlier in his career. So the match on Raw probably went until 94. It was a Manhattan Center show, I'll tell you that. But Johnny ended up becoming a well-rounded indie guy that we would have on a lot of them, sold shows where we needed somebody that looks good. You know what I mean? So they got a lot of work. Plus, Vince and them guys liked him up there. But yeah, what a doozy of a match. I got the offense this time.
Yeah, and Shaw takes the fall in this one. Aaron, any other notes on this matchup?
My moonsault.
Nope, just Yeah. Shaw was super ineffective. Worst partner ever.
That one drop toe hold that Axel gets him, he lands flatter than an ironing board. He just like hits and he's just there. He's just
he kind of fucked that.
Little
up.
guy had
How about
little guy
Axel,
had heart.
man?
It's just
How about Axel with that spin kick on me?
Mhm.
I've wrestled Axel countless times, and he's never thought about doing the call. Well, I mean, for much lesser promotions, but yeah, I popped when I was like, Axel fucking did a spin kick like that. It was a basic squash, right?
Yeah. The next thing, Aaron, this week, I did the hard work. You know, we a few weeks back, maybe over a month back anyway, you took the time to transcribe a Sal Balomo promo for us. This week, I did the hard work and I transcribed this Jimmy Snuka promo, folks. Here we go. ECW, woo, woo, woo. What are you going to do? It was terrible.
like
Yeah.
I didn't think Jimmy Snuka could put in less effort than he did in his matches until I saw this fucking promo.
Oh, that was back. That was an old promo, I guarantee, from months prior to. You know, there's something that Paul needed, what, I don't know, 5-7 seconds. Just, you know.
He didn't even TCB on this one. That's how much
have
he
time.
And we get some more Paulie doing all kinds of voices here, running down the cards for Tabor and November to Remember. And then on this one, obviously, this was never on the WWE Network stuff. We actually saw a promo for that charity that, Chad, you've told us that Todd was a part of, the Variety Club, I guess it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it was called. Yeah, the Children's something Variety Club.
And now Joey talks about Mr. Hughes coming into the ECW, talking about his angle with The Undertaker and the WWF. And then, was this the same promo we saw last week? I couldn't really tell.
No,
it was a
little different.
Hughes screaming about Johnny Gunn.
He did fuck something up, but then what did he fuck up saying about The Undertaker? Like, I don't know. I just recall you're right. It wasn't the same interview as last week, because he did mention Johnny Gunn. He's going to put Johnny Gunn out for good.
Yes.
All right. Well, do us all a favor.
I was going to say, if you want to be the baby face, be the baby face then, Mr. Hughes.
I know what I'm doing on fucking November the 12th.
Then we get to watch a video slam by Onyx. I love that song.
Yeah, there's, like I said, I didn't get to watch the WWE Network version, but there's no way this was on there.
No, and if it was, the music would have been awful. Who would have some god awful thing?
Oh no, the video was probably No, they probably made just a video highlight of Public Enemy. Because I can't even imagine.
Oscar. It was Oscar doing his version of Slam.
Damn. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I'm curious now, because I don't think I've ever looked at how they used to treat some of them Geffen videos on the network.
I think they just cut them out.
Really?
I think, I do. Because some of these shows, like I said, if you look at the like this one was, what did we watch? 54 minutes of this video, and the WWE Network version is like 29-30. So I think with some of that stuff, they cut it out. With some of it, they put their own terrible in-house music over it that's just god awful. But I bet they cut this out. I didn't watch the network version, but this was the entire Slam video pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they probably don't have that on the network.
I started watching it, and my Bluetooth speaker or my speaker on my TV was loud enough that I just left the room and went upstairs, went to the bathroom, checked on tapes that I had burning, and I was like, okay, it's still playing. I mean, what am I watching? I'm still watching this highlight the Public Enemy and matches that we've already reviewed, so I don't need to be there. I mean, it's like I'm a housewife. Like if I had a vacuum cleaner, I could have been cleaning down here listening to Slam. So yeah, it was. I mean, I was shocked that it was the whole fucking song.
It was literally the whole video, like 4
I bought
minutes
the
and
CD
30
back in
seconds or whatever.
'93.
Yeah.
I had the
song.
CD. There is some good songs on that CD.
But yeah, otherwise, folks, it's just a Slam video with Public Enemy and Bad Company highlights from their matches. They even tried to sync up. Did you notice, Aaron? They tried to sync up the kicking contest.
Yeah, every time Pat Tanaka was kicking somebody, it was like slam.
Yeah, they tried
boy,
to.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a good effort.
Maddie's back in the house in our next segment.
He's actually not in the
Poor
house.
Maddie.
He's out in the woods. Maddie's in the woods.
Maddie in the woods here, and he's talking about it's a viewer's choice stipulation match between the Bad Company and the Public Enemy at November to Remember. The stipulations that people can choose from are a tag team cage match, a double chain match, a double bull rope match, a Texas death match, a falls count anywhere, bleed all over South Philly blood match, a hair match, or the losing team must split up. Those are all of the stipulations that the fans can choose from as to what kind of match these two teams are going to have at November to Remember.
Can you just write yes? Yeah, that sounds like a doozy. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. But wouldn't they? What did they end up doing? Do you remember?
No, and I haven't looked ahead to see. I kind of wanted to be surprised, I guess. I haven't looked ahead to see, but I have no idea what they did because I don't remember anything about.
Well,
I don't know if
they couldn't have. They couldn't have done the losing team split up.
No, because there's still the angle coming up.
Why?
There's still the angle coming up where Paul Diamond's in the hospital.
Holiday Hell.
Yeah.
Well, they got the Holiday Hell show with the non-exploding cage. That's AEW's attempt to fail like ECW did at blowing something up. Which, by the way, we can't review that, right?
Holiday Hell?
Yeah. I don't think there's any footage of it.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I'm on it.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's my first win.
Well, God damn it.
Yeah. I actually beat Pitbull.
I thought you were going to say it was with Cairo. I know you said you had that match with Cairo, too, where they wanted you to go over.
No, this was the same thing. This was basically the same thing. They did this. It was Gary's first night in, or first night at the arena,
and
they wanted him to kill me, just kill him, kill him, shoot him in. He'll give you like a spin kick like Axel did, but I did it. I gave him the hip attack is what I gave him, like Oscar did, and I caught a quick one on him, and afterwards he beat me up to the point where Sandman made the save for me. But yeah, it was a squash, but I kind of snuck it by him. But I know the match airs because I had the match, but I don't think the tape was ever released because of how big of a dud that finish was.
I know they went out and publicly apologized for it. Like on TV, they apologized for it. I know that.
I was promised a kaboom,
and I got I got a raspberry.
There you got Todd. I think it was Todd or Paul yelling on a microphone, boom, in the locker room. That's a shoot.
Wow.
When the sparklers went off and the smoke went off, I think either Paulie told Todd to run out or Paulie grabbed a microphone and goes, boom, real loud.
It's ridiculous. Up next, we have a Kevin Sullivan promo where he's talking about the shoot fight. Now that I know the rules, thank you, Todd Godden.
Like last week he was
when I doing a butcher in the cage when he had the crimson flowing to my toes was a shoot fight. Why is
last week
Gilbert Gottfried?
Last week he was in his high chair. This week Bill Dundee's operating the camera for him. The fuck is going on?
Bill, go on. That's tremendous. Bill Dunn working the camera, and he has it on his shoulder.
We're rolling, Daddy.
We're rolling, Daddy.
Yeah, you can't beat the king, and I don't care if you bring King Kong and Godzilla. You can't beat the king, and you can't beat the superstar. Well, they are friends.
We definitely
did bring him into WCW.
We've definitely encapsulated this promo. Just essentially Sullivan showing footage of matches he's already had in ECW, or someone showing footage of matches he's already had in ECW, and talking about the shoot fight coming up with Tommy Cairo at November to Remember. And now we're rolling into this footage between Medusa.
Hang on. About some of the rules.
Oh, cool. I didn't write them down.
No, I didn't write them down either, but just one of them struck out to me. Like, if a fighter grabs the ropes, you got to release the hold. Dude, I've tried that in the street fight. Some guy grabbed me in a headlock, and I grabbed the hold underneath a table, and I'm like, I got the table or something. You got like to the count of 5.
You gotta let me go.
Yeah, the guy never let me go. I mean, was he the heel? Because I think I started the fight, and I'm like, they said closed fists are legal. Who throws open palm strikes in pro wrestling? Is Jerry? Do you ever see Jerry Lawler do the fucking wah 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 spot? Like, what the fuck, you know? And the rules were just so stupid. Like, I wasn't going to pay attention to them. Seriously, I wasn't going to even pay attention to them. But then when I heard a couple of them, I'm like, of course. What? It's not even going to be out in the street.
Now that I know the rules.
Good God. It really should. He should have cut a promo about just being in a street fight. That was sad.
Medusa and Sherry is next. The footage from the John Arezzi convention. I actually really liked this.
It wasn't bad. Medusa isn't the best promo person in the world, but it was
the worst.
Yeah, I mean, this was good. I mean, if anything, I think the name of our show this week is in this amateur video. It should be Sexual Credentials. I
actually have that circled as a possible theme, so I guess we'll get a little deeper into it, but I think we also found out
that Sherry Martel fucked Greg Valentine.
Greg Valentine's a pimp. I mean, he's getting around.
Well, I mean, was Medusa with Greg at the time?
I think so. He's even when the camera shoots up. But I think where they were actually together at this time.
Oh, okay. Because my reaction would have been when I heard about somebody fucking Greg Valentine, I was like, so? What the fuck? I mean, did you get the Intercontinental belt? I don't know. Did you get what the fuck does that mean? So you fuck Greg Valentine. So did Vince Sr.
Did he just
Bob Barnett?
Did he just sit there expressionless?
Well, you really
while you did it.
He's kind of like turned to his side to like get out of the shot, but he started like an hour before they started filming to get out of the shot, and that's how far he got. That guy don't move. You know, Goodfellas when it started out, Paulie. Yeah, he don't move for anybody because they don't have to move for anybody. Jesus, you better. If that guy's got to be to work at fucking 9 o'clock, you better tell him to leave on Sunday to get there on Monday at 9 o'clock. We brought that guy in so many times. I mean, Greg was a great guy to have in the locker room because he didn't fucking do anything. He just sat there and stared. He was like the Putty of wrestling, the David Putty of wrestling. But I loved it. I loved this whole entire thing. And some of that shit sounded legitimate.
Yeah. We got name calling.
Medusa says that most girls in the business think a backslide something you do on the casting couch.
Oh, dude, you know that she had that line in her back pocket, but she almost forgot it. You know how she was kind of like a little slow when pulling it out.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking like she's got something here. What's she gonna say? Oh, okay. All right. I thought she was totally gonna just fuck it up and just say something else. I thought a backslide was like a wristwatch. Whatever. You're a whore.
And and I was just looking, like, the reason this didn't happen is because she went, like, when she said she's got to deal with the WWF, she really did. I mean, she was with Vince, like, I think like a month and a half later, or maybe even sooner than that after this, because that's why I was wondering why this match never happened, was because she went up to work for Vince.
Well, I wonder if Paul was trying to get one last date out of her, but I mean, she was being booked by a Resi there, so it wasn't a Paul thing. So I wonder if like Paul was just trying to like maybe force her into doing it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just, but I just was looking it up, trying to see when she actually started with the WWF, and it was pretty much right after this. I just think Vince just kind of probably vetoed her going to Philly to do that match.
Yeah, I would have to say, because I mean, this was all shot kind of like Paul probably had talked to Sherry and was like, I'll talk to Medusa. You know, he probably had it half-ass booked, you know, knowing how Paulie works. And you're right. When they pulled the trigger on Medusa, Vince probably, or not probably Vince, somebody else probably just said, nah, that's not happening. But some of that verbiage, man, wow. That shit was brutal.
She said, kiss my ass, candy ass.
She talked about like her chasing her out of territories and shit, and it's like, well, a lot of it, the timeline is pretty much accurate.
Mm-hmm. And like Aaron said, Medusa says about 3 times the expression sexual credentials. We're talking about sexual credentials, so that is probably going to be our theme of this week's show.
Didn't she make a comment about her having to carry somebody's balls?
Yes, like, but they bleeped out who she's. I didn't know. I don't know who she said. They bleeped out who she. Like they were bleeping out balls, but they also bleeped out whoever's name it was.
I wonder if it was Michael's or Meatballs.
Meatballs.
Sal Malomo's balls.
Literally, she's got a big tray full of meatballs. These are Sal Malomo's balls.
And she's a sensational. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this. I thought it was cool, even though, unfortunately, like we talked about, we're not going to get the match. It was really cool, though. I thought this was a good segment.
Of course, especially because of the amateur footage, fan cam footage.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had it. Didn't exist.
And then we get the Jason video from last week to wrap us up.
Why didn't they just end with the Medusa?
Yeah, why can't you just end on the good note? not that the Jason video is bad. It's just we've already fucking seen it, you know.
Was it the same video? Did they add something to it?
No, it was the same video.
They just had Joey interview him before they played it.
I thought the car scene, because I remember that Porsche. Like, and the one thing I do remember about it, it was a piece of crap. Like, it sounded like it was. I don't know what year it was. I don't know shit about cars, but I know it didn't look like it was well taken care of. Kind of. Maybe it looked all right on TV because it was dark and shit. But I remember hearing it. I remember hearing him start it up one day, and it sounded like a fucking hamster was underneath the hood, fucking on a wheel, powering this thing like this little Mickey Mouse fucking car. Like, what do they have, kit cars where you can build a DeLorean in your garage?
Yeah.
I think he paid like $350 and got that and some sea monkeys.
His Porsche made out of Connects. Yeah.
That's why he has all that money. He can afford to pay Angel a banger. I don't know why he's paying because nobody else was. And he can afford to pay Mr. Hughes the big money. He ends up managing Mr. Hughes, though, right?
I think so.
What's that? What's that thing that?
He's the kind of Mr. Hughes is the kind of dummy that. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was just listening to some old 605, not to plug somebody else's podcast, but Tom Robbins is on there, and he says that he comes back from dropping somebody off, and he was dating Angel at the time, and he asked Dennis Carluzza, he's like, "Hey, where's my girlfriend?" And he's like, "I think she's under the bleachers blowing Ox Baker."
Damn. No, I ain't never heard that one. I think Mr. Hughes is the kind of guy you could fool, like by making him like pretending like you have money. Then if you pull up alongside him and you're rolling down your window in the Porsche, you're not hitting the little electric button. And can I help you, Mr. Hughes? I want to manage you. You got any money? And he rolls the window back up. Or actually, probably Mr. Hughes probably had a squeegee. Do you guys have the squeegee kids there?
Not here, not where we live, but in the city, yes.
Oh, dude, I think we were like ground patient zero for the squeegee kids. Like there's like laws. They have like their own. They have to get licenses and shit around here. They're like an outlaw mud show fucking group around here. It's ridiculous.
You never have dirty windows. There's always plenty of squeegee kids, right?
That's what Mr. Hughes was outside doing, waiting for Jason to pull up in his fucking plastic Porsche.
You got money? I got a squeegee.
Like, oh, don't. It's my windows. My window's made of cellophane. If you get water on it, I'm fucked.
He could have looked in and saw the gas tank was on empty.
It's like, you don't see that I'm driving a cardboard car and the fucking cellophane window.
Look, the wheels don't even spin.
I'm using my feet. I'm using my goddamn feet like Fred Flintstone. Get the fuck out of
here. I got an AM radio as my stereo. What do you think?
If the wind kicks in, I'm fucked. Like,
could you imagine if Jason had one of them like fake cardboard cars that where you're actually walking, and then he told Mr. Hughes that he had money, and there was another like a passenger door, and Mr. Hughes got in it with him, and they both started like walking down the street together. Because Jason just said he had money. I got a couple dollars.
Maybe enough I couldn't refuse. You're going down, Johnny Gunn.
Yeah. They're walking their way to the November to Remember. Just so they could beat up Johnny Gunn.
Damn it. All right, guys. Overall, what's our grade for this show? I gave it a D. And it was mostly because of the Shane Sabu deal, although convoluted, was fun in the end, and then the Medusa Sherry was redeemable. I did like that.
No, it was a disaster for me. No, I'm going back down to not even grading it.
Sliding back.
Yeah, the recaps are just too much. I mean, my moonsault wasn't even perfect. I kind of went to the side a little bit, but yeah, I think I may have ruined the whole entire show by tagging in Todd Shaw.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take this shit really, really seriously until they figure out where their next stop is. You know, when they finally start getting rid of the Moroccos and the Snookas and all, you know what I mean? Like, because it's literally Paul is just he's not making chicken salad. Find another fucking shitty fucking food you make with chicken, because he ain't making chicken salad out of that chicken shit. It's just like, come on, man, enough with this.
I can't really give it a grade. It's more of an incomplete. Like, there wasn't a lot. There was good things in it, but there was too much recap, and I think it was kind of structured wrong.
Yeah, there wasn't enough good things in it to keep you kind of vested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I understand you have a big show coming up, but you've been telling me this for the past 2 weeks.
And if your title's going to change, oh, sorry, and I was going to say, if your title's going to change, why not have that be the last thing on your show?
Of course, but I think, wasn't my match the last match on the show then, officially?
Yeah. Yeah.
I main evented an ECW TV show because they only had 2 matches that were first run. And one of them was an ECW title change. Wow.
So overall, not a great thing, but yeah, we're still getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, everybody. To close out the show, as we always do, please do follow us on Twitter at Reliving Extreme and join our Facebook group on the Facebook. We do have some good conversations in there. Check out the We Can't Wrestle podcast, the other show that Aaron and I constantly blabber on. And follow Chad at Chad Austin Demira on Twitter and Chad's Video Vault on Facebook.
Yeah, but
any parting words, guys?
Yeah,
if you're
trying to get into Chad's Video Vault, you have to first become a friend. It's a private group. So it's Chad Austin Demira on Facebook as well. But don't you have a big announcement, Nate?
I do. Coming up thank you.
Jesus.
the week of WrestleMania, we are going to be launching an online 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365-day a year pro wrestling radio network. WrestleNet Radio is what I've decided to call it. I'm still getting all the kinks worked out, but by the time it launches, not only will it have a stream online, it will also have an app that you will be able to download, a mobile app for your phone to be able to listen to not only this show, episodes of the We Can't Wrestle podcast, but we're going to work on a bunch of other stuff. I know Chad and I are talking about a show that he wants to do, and Aaron and I have talked about some stuff. Some other guys I'm talking to, we're going to have like sports radio, but for wrestling fans is essentially what it is. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pro wrestle talk on WrestleNet Radio. Very excited about this. And like I said,
it's only $80 every 2 days. Kidding.
Absolutely free, just like any other radio station for you to listen to. And
is that like the $19.99 a month simulcast for Busted Open that I got roped? I got fooled into thinking it really exists for like 2 months. They kept talking about having a $19.99 a month fucking simulcast where you can watch the show live, and I kept asking them, inquiring about it, and they never smartened me up. It's not a real thing.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, I mean, it went from like $20 a month to like $69 a month to like $49. I'm thinking, like, how do you find this? Are you going to offer any of that, like video shit?
Nope, not yet. Not yet. It's going to be straight up like a radio station on the internet to start, and we're going to build from there. But I'm really excited about it, and I think it's going to be a great thing for pro wrestling fans. So stay tuned. Like I said, WrestleMania week, and we will have links to that in the Facebook group, on the Twitter, and et cetera, et cetera. So very excited about it. Guys, thank you for joining me again this week for Reliving the Extreme. Thank you to our listeners for joining us. The listenership continues to rise, and we're very excited about that. Thank you all very much. And we'll see you next week as we will once again be reliving the extreme.
Recapping the extreme.
Recapping. I'm gonna have to make another logo just to put that on there. Recapping the extreme. I can't believe we got an hour out of that.
Dude, I started to panic.
I did too. I was looking. It was like
Jason Knight's car. Jason's Knight's car was what did it.
I made up half of that shit about his car.
we were 3/4 of the way through talking about the show, and I looked up and we were at like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god.
The only thing that was true about Jason's car was that it did sound like it was a fucking Mickey Mouse car. It wasn't like a legitimate, but everything else, I have no idea. I mean, what's he gonna do? He ain't gonna drive it down here. Come find me.
He's like, I live on a hill, bitch. You can't get that up here.
How you getting home?
Mr. Hughes will push it up the hill.
Oh, I don't. Have you seen Curtis?
He looks.
Dude, I'm not even sure. Is he still alive?
Yeah. Shit. Yes.
He lost so much weight. I guess it's the crack.
Gonna have to throw.
No, I mean legitimately. Yeah, he's not a big dude anymore, man. He's a small guy. Last I saw him, almost like Titus O'Neil, but not Titus O'Neil in shape.
God, the last time I even saw him was when he was doing the shit with Jericho in the WWF. So I haven't seen him in like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around on shows that he was on, and I didn't recognize him. I mean, he looked like Slick, who I didn't know. I didn't know Slick's father was Pork Chop
Rufus
Cash.
R.
Rufus R. Jones.
Yeah, Rufus R. Jones has adopted him, I think.
Oh, thank God he didn't get his father's fucking talents.
Well, gents, I got to go get ready to go to work. But
All right.
thank you again for a good show.
Right
Bro,
on,
I
man.
got to get ready.